Hey guys, it is Brian with another Dinner and a Show on the road review. Man, I just watched Pureflix's new movie, Samson. And out of all of the Bible characters that you could have picked, you picked the jerkiest one, the guy that's like the biggest scoundrel of them all. Yeah, they did. Anyway, don't really know much about the cast. I mean, it's kind of an independent movie. I mean, it has that independent feel. But yeah, basically you have, Israel has no king. They are divided. They have, they're being run by the Philistines, and Samson is one of the judges that God has appointed to deliver his people from their own mistakes. But in this movie, Samson's like, nope, I don't want to be a judge. I want to do my own thing. And he marries Taryn, a Philistine woman. And I don't know the cast, so anyway, I'll put a link in the description for the cast. How about that? Anyway, so Samson, he has super strength. He is able to lift objects. He's basically the Bible superhero. He has incredible strength, and he can pretty much kill anything. A lion, strong bodybuilder Egyptian, and 1,000 Philistines at once. It's pretty crazy. So anyway, it's pretty much about Samson and his rise and fall to power. And if you've read the Bible story in Judges, will be familiar with it. But anyway, man, this movie was boring. Gosh. I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, because I will give them a little bit of understanding, because Samson's story is really, like, the most interesting part is, like, it would be more of the second half of his tale in Judges, where after he defeats the 1,000 Philistines with a donkey jawbone, and he meets Delilah. That's basically where it gets interesting, and that's where everyone knows the whole, Delilah deal. She's the temptress. She's, Samson's bane. I mean, women are his bane, really, because he's always going after, non-Hebrew women. And the reason why, it was instructed of the Hebrews to not, marry outside of, Hebrew, not marry a Gentile, a non-Jew, was because that, the Jews knew of God, and they respected God, and they followed God, and the Gentiles did not. So, house divided, not to do that. Anyway, but I mean, I say it's boring because it's like there's so much that the movie wants to do, and it just doesn't really pay off a whole lot. Like Samson, like even the beginning was just weird. Like, it's like they made Samson look like a Robin Hood, and he's not. He's a jerk. He's only after what he wants, and he's selfish. He uses his strength for his own means. He abuses it. He doesn't really use it to free his people. He's not the leader that the movie's trying to make him out to be. He was a genuine jerk. Even his last moments, where he kills more Philistines than he ever did alive, even that was with some selfish motives. So I mean, he's not a great guy. So just painting him in that way is just kind of funny to me. But yeah, it's just a boring movie because it was slow, it was long, and I mean, hey, the only two people in the theater besides me left in the middle of the movie. One guy left before the movie even started. The other guy, the other girl, she just went up and left halfway through. I guess it was past her bedtime and the movie wasn't over. But I mean, they got the idea. that yeah, just editing was just terrible. They cut things way too short. Action sequences were way too close. Could barely see what was going on. Any wide shots of action were cut really short, so we could barely see, what was going on. Samson has a brother apparently in this movie, which that's not a big, huge gripe for me. Because it never said that he didn't have one in the Bible. And it gave Samson someone to talk to, besides his mom, and the women that he would, seduce, or the women that he would, be ensnared by. It's just he was an interesting character. You kind of forgot about him because they didn't show him for like half the movie. He was there towards the beginning, and then it looked like he did a complete 180 on how he treated Samson, just how he talked to him, very stern and everything like that. And it's just he just became, whatever the movie wanted him to be. I really want to see a portrayal of Delilah not feeling sorry for Samson when Samson's strength leaves him. Of course, they play the whole, Delilah has feelings for Samson, and maybe she doesn't really want to go through with the plan, but she does anyway. And it just, no, I want her to be just as selfish, just as ruthless as her hammy brother, or not hammy brother, I don't know, whoever, her hammy king. Man, that guy was hilarious. The Prince Rala in this movie, he was hilarious because he was just so hammy, so cheesy, just over the top. He made for a good. I guess this is sort of like a Bible comic book movie, so I guess he was a perfect fit for this. But it's just kind of funny how just over the top he was in his acting, and how other people were not so. So acting was a little bit bad. But Delilah, she could have been so great. She could have been like so evil, so ruthless, and so good at what she did of seducing, people to her will. But nope, they went the whole I feel sorry for Samson now and leave him alone. That's just dumb. I hate the fact that I've not seen a single movie where Delilah is just ruthless. So, hey, maybe I should do that. Who knows? Anyway, and Samson, it's kind of hard to portray Samson as a likable guy when the only thing that, me as a reader would like about him was just that he can kick butt. And he did. He's killed thousands upon thousands of Philistines, using hardly anything. Most famously, a jawbone of a donkey. But it's, even in this one, it just kind of seemed funny because he's just lazy. He kills Philistines when it suits him. It doesn't kill Philistines for God's purpose, which, he did that in the Bible. And Judges, it's like he's reluctant to use his powers. And it's not, but it's also for selfish reasons. So I would have liked the whole abusing my power to get what I want sort of route, instead of I don't want to use my powers or God's gift. Anyway, costumes looked a little cheesy. Dialogue was really weird because it sounded way too modern for just a period piece, a biblical epic. things a little modern. So, like, Samson and Taryn, his wife, or first, wife, before she gets killed. They, like, go out on picnics or go out on the beach and stuff. And it's like, that's not really something that they would do back in the day, really. I really wish that they did a little more research and implemented those scenes into this, because then it kind of looked like a little cheesy romance movie, and I'm like, that's kind of not the case. So, yeah, and even like the trials of Samson, Delilah trying to find out Samson's strength. I mean, there was no tension behind that. It was just like, one time he's just like, oh yeah, tie me up with ropes and I'll be, just as weak as another man. And we don't see that. We don't, see her, try and fail. And then the next, apparently they did that off camera. And then he finally shows or reveals in some other scene. And it's just so, there was no build up, no tension, nothing to be, nothing to, feel, nothing to cheer for. The guy was, it's just, this could have been so much better. Like, Samson is a jerk character, and they could have picked a different Bible character to do. I will give Pureflix, a, job well done on not doing another God's Not Dead sort of movie, even though they're gonna do one around Easter. Gosh. Funny story, I auditioned for a part in that movie. Didn't get it, but it was kind of funny. But yeah, this movie was just bad. And the ending made no sense, no connection to, Samson, because it revealed, that David was going to be king, and I'm like, what's that got to do with Samson? Kind of dumb. I don't know, this movie was just kind of all over the place, editing wise. I didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be. And I think that they could have dealt more with Samson and his purpose and what God wanted him to do. They started him out as a full-grown adult. They didn't really, an angel, like in Judges, an angel appears to Samson's mother and gives him instructions on what to do. I mean, because like his mother's was barren, and she wasn't gonna have any kids. But an angel says, "Hey, God's gonna gift you with a son, and he's gonna, be anointed by God, and these are the things you must do so that he can keep his blessing." They don't show that. So unless you've read the Bible, you would be super confused going into this movie. It's like, okay, how did he get this strength? And they just kind of speak it away, or through dialogue, and I'm just like, that's stupid. No, that's just lazy writing, as Deadpool would say. So anyway, I'm just gonna give this movie just to leave you hanging. There were a couple, I'll admit, the jawbone donkey fight, I was looking forward to that, hoping it would be, good, but, so, I mean, I thought it was decent. So, I mean, it had some potential to be great, but, yeah, that's the only thing keeping it from being a slap in the face. But there were some really poor decisions in the writing and characters that could have made it a lot better. Anyway, that's all I got. That's my rant. My first dud of 2018. Gonna try and watch Game Night this weekend, so hopefully that won't be a dud. If it is, I will be so disappointed, because I'm a huge tabletop gamer person, and I love that type of stuff. So anyway, I'm Brian, and until next time, I will see you at the movies.